I hope you are well. I hope that you're having a wonderful week so far. It's Marvelous Monday. Many of you maybe even have some time on vacation for Christmas and for the holidays. So I hope that you're practicing radical self care and, getting closer to God or praying more, whatever. Also resting. So, but I'm here today because I wanted to continue to do faith and footsteps on my walks with my dog, Rex. Um, as you may know, if you've been watching for any amount of time, you know that faith and footsteps is something that I started doing. Oh, okay. I will ram you over with the bike. Um, faith and footsteps is something I started doing on a whim, really. And I originally started on Instagram, and then I gradually moved over to um, YouTube. So, good morning. You say hi? No. Have a good day. Um, so yeah, we started that off with just talking about the different things that I go through, and I think I mentioned several times that um, I'm a Christian therapist. I'm also an author, best-selling author. So you can find my book on Amazon. The link is in my description box, but it's called Please Excuse My Brave, Overcoming Fear and Living Out Your Purpose. So it is a really good book based on, really learning what your purpose is and overcoming any obstacle, which tends to be fear, right? Um, in order to meet your purpose. And so yeah, hope you can get that. And then beginning in January, on January 5th, we will be starting my monthly fruit and veggie challenge, right? So we will be starting that as well as doing that with a spiritual component of fasting and prayer. So if you want more information on the 7 day fruit and veggie challenge, please go sign up for my email list. The link is in the description box. I'm trying to be better about actually putting it in there before I go live. So, um, so yeah, it's there. And yeah, so I will begin to talk. Thank you all for joining. I hope that you would like this video and share it with someone who needs it, but also subscribe because it's awesome, right? What we're doing right now, how you're building your faith, how you're learning, how you're being encouraged, how we're walking together in faith is awesome. So I hope you like my sweater. It says Jesus is Lord. Um, got it from a friend of mine, Kim with Red Wall Vintage. She's an awesome woman of God, and I love her brand. So shout out to her. Um, Anywho, today I titled this message or this live. Come here, doggy. Why do you always run? Stop. Okay. All right. I had to secure the package. So um, I wanted to do this live. Last week, we have been talking about unwavering faith, right? Which is in James 1. And just a quick recap, unwavering faith means that whatever you believe God for, you don't have any doubt in your heart. And good morning. And if it's in his will, he'll do it, right? And then chapter 2 goes on to say that faith without works is dead. So you can say all day, I have faith about this, I believe this, but the truth is in the pudding, right? The truth is in your actions. So so that's what that chapter 2 is about. And you can see the reference in the title of this video. Um, so no, I think you're in the right life. I think that you might have joined in thinking that, this was something else, but this is what it is, and maybe your purpose to be here for this time. Okay. So oh, we live. Yes, we are. So um you can see I'm still holding Rex. So we are going to be talking about faith without works and what that really means, at least to me. I'm gonna put you down. You're heavy. He weighs 10 pounds on a good day, but he's heavy. So, what was I gonna say? Doo, 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 doo. Yes. So, if somebody has faith and they don't show that they have faith by their actions, um, then do they really have faith? It was funny because I was literally on my walk listening to chapter 2 of James and cracking up because of how James was describing this part. Because he said in my version anyway, which my version is NLT that I read a lot of times. It's very theatric, especially when you listen to it. Um, what was I gonna say? Sorry, it's a lot going on. I'm walking a lot later than I normally do, so just gotta watch and pray. um, anyway, James said, so what? He was like, you believe that Jesus Christ is Lord, or you believe that Jesus is the Son of God. Even the demons believe this and they tremble, right? And so I was like, wow, way to put people in their place. Really, what it said was good for you. Even the demons believe that. So basically, he's saying, here's a pat on the back. Good job believing, but you're not doing anything different than what a demon does by just believing, right? So, and if you think about a demon, they are complete opposite. Their characteristics, their traits, what they do, they're complete opposite to what a believer should be, right? So if they can believe and still be called a demon, then that means that we have to believe and show our belief by our character, by the things that we do. And there were a couple of examples that were used in James 2. Um, One example was of Abraham, and it said Abraham was believed to be righteous and shown to have great faith, not only because he said he had faith, but because of what he did, right? Because of what he did with his son. He was obedient and he had faith that God was going to show up. he was he was told to sacrifice his son, and he acted that out. And before he even, you know, did anything or hurt his child, he reminded his child and himself probably, God is going to provide. God is going to provide. So he not only said, I believe God is who he says he is. I believe that the word that God gave me, that I'm going to be, a father of many nations, is true. Even though he's telling me to go sacrifice my child right now, and this is my only child, he's going to provide, right? And so I'm wondering, is there any part of your life that needs faith? Not only a word of faith, but an action of faith, right? For example, when I was believing for a husband, when I was believing to get married, um, I was praying for my husband. I didn't even know who he was. I had no idea. I had no idea, no prospects, no nothing. But I would, by faith, pray for my husband, you know, and even a step further, and even a step further, I would, um, I began to save for my wedding before I knew I was going to have a wedding. A biblical pat on the back as well. Yes. So, so I mean, I had the faith and I believed that God was going to do what he told me he was going to do. Because if you go back to my other videos, we're talking about being in God's will. And when you believe in God's word, you believe in God's will because they're the same. And so I believed it was God's will for me to be married because it was a desire that I had in my heart. Some people don't have a desire to get married. Some people don't care about it. And they're perfectly content not doing that. That wasn't me. I was learning how to be content in any area and any season without being married. But it was something that I desired, right? And so I did actions of faith in order to show that my faith was genuine, right? So welcome and thank you so much for joining. Thank you for joining from Brazil. Good to see you. I hope that you stay a while. Hope that you like this video and that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Um, we're going to be doing some really good stuff lately. Um, but yeah, so faith without works is dead. Even the scripture, 2 Corinthians 5:7, it says, for we walk by faith and not by sight. And we talked about walk in one of my videos the other day. Like when you're walking, you gotta have stamina, you gotta have movement, there's action to it. It's not just about believing, although that's very important. It's very important that you believe because as a therapist, I practice something called cognitive behavioral therapy or theory. And it talks about how the mind, the brain, the thoughts are connected to how you feel. And then how you feel is connected to what you do, right? And if you can change your thoughts, they eventually will change your feelings and like how you think about a situation. And then you will eventually change what you do. So it all starts up here. I'm pointing at my head because it all starts in the mind, right? The Bible tells us in 2 Corinthians 10, 3-5, that we are not fighting against, you know, physical people. We're fighting against spirits and principalities. And we have to take our thoughts captive. So We have to take our thoughts captive and make them obedient to Christ. Now, when you take your thoughts captive, because your thoughts are the things, your thoughts are seeds. Well, I'm going back to saturated, right? So your thoughts can be seeds, but also the word and your words are seeds. So just like any other seed, if you tend to it, you water it, it's going to grow, whether negative or positive, right? That's why people have weeds because they allowed weeds in their garden. And so sometimes in our thought life, taking captive thoughts means that we have to dig out the weeds. Hey, what's going against what the word tells me? What's going against what I'm believing for? I need to weed that out and make it obedient to Christ. I need to weed that out and I need to find a way to replace that with the word. And then we talk about words too, speaking. So I feel like James was telling us something that, you know, eventually should happen when you're doing all these things. Because some people are like, well, doesn't that contradict the Bible or whatever? Like, didn't they say we were saved by faith and not through our works? Yes. And then we say you have to live by faith, walk by faith. Yes. And then you have to not only have faith, but have works. Yes. All three are true. Check, check, check. Because they all work together, right? It's a balance between um, knowing who you are and I gotta get past this noise. Um, it's a it's a balance between knowing who you are, knowing whose you are, knowing that no matter what you do, the love for God doesn't decrease or increase for you. Right? That's what that's talking about. So you're not gonna win God's approval by your actions. And the way that you will see the things that you're believing for come to pass is by walking and living out your faith, right? Um, Thank you for joining, everybody. That's all I have for you today. But do me a favor and subscribe to my YouTube channel and like this video. Thank you to those who already liked it. And make sure that you come back tomorrow for more encouragement. I might stay in this realm. Sometimes I kind of do unintentional series. So make sure that you come back and we can go deeper into what these things mean and even what can hinder your faith. We're right. We talk about what can fuel your faith, but also what can hinder it. So remember, you have everything that you need to live your life bravely, and you can do all things through Christ, which strengthens you. Okay. Bye, everyone.